Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin on the daily chart remains in the range, in the sideways range. We start here on the daily. We typically do that once a day, even though at the moment on the daily there isn't really any change. What will be meaningful on the daily is going to be if the market can generate a 5-wave move to the upside, as shown here in white, from the 5th of August low. Let me put it onto the chart. Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3. We could still be in Wave 3, but it's critical that we're holding above the, I think it's the 8th of August low at around 54,900, but we see that better on the 1-hour chart. Then another 4 and another 5. Then we have a 5-wave move up. That, as per Elliott Wave, indicates a successful trend reversal to the upside. Then we have a clear, let's say a clear landmark on the chart. Basically the next 5-wave move, which indicates that this here on the 5th of August really was a substantial low. We can then add the next support zone, which would be for this wave 2, which is a corrective pullback, which would be correcting the move to the upside that happened between the 5th of August and, well, the top of the 5 waves, right? So this is key. Until we see that, there isn't really a confirmation as such that this larger 4th wave has bottomed. So until that happens, we just need to be extremely vigilant. We need to remain flexible as we are just simply moving in a range, which I would call at the moment indecisive at best. The risk is still high that we're breaking down. Please, very important, please consider that. The risk is still very high that we're breaking down. There are warning levels on the 1-hour chart that we're observing, that if they break, they will give us the warning that Bitcoin is breaking down. That could mean in the first step that we are going to test 43K, or let's say the mid 40K region in the yellow wave count, which is the same wave count. It still would allow for the interpretation of the pullback of the correction as a wave 4, which is a correction after a long 3rd wave rally that happened between September last year and March this year. The problem is that if we do that and form one more low, it could still be within a bullish scenario, but it would potentially take us down to 43K. It's worth being prepared for it, making a plan for it. It's not so much about, is the market going up or down? It's more about understanding the different scenarios, the pivots in between that distinguish between these scenarios, the risk involved, and making a plan that has to be on an individual basis for your own portfolio, based on your own situation, your own risk profile, your own strategy, when you got in, your average cost, and so on, based on these scenarios. They are both, you could say, the same at the moment. So I'm still watching for higher prices, but what I can tell you, the risk is already increased for a more bearish outcome. Due to the, let's say, the mini crash on the 5th of August, the risk will increase further for a bearish outcome. A break of the support, and let's say that we could be still in the bear market, or that we're entering already the next bear market. The risk will increase further with a break below the Monday low, the 5th of August low, because then we are getting close to the 43K level, which is sort of really the last reliable bullish support level for a wave 4. So I'm not saying we are in the next bear market. As I said, we're looking for higher prices still. But please be aware that we could at any point break down to 43K. The market itself doesn't show much strength at the moment, but we're obviously watching if we are pushing higher, and the 1-hour chart guides us. So I'm still leaning towards higher prices. I'd like to see the price go up higher. And the only thing is, obviously, the structure at the moment is indecisive at best. So undecided. We don't really have very clear impulsive structures from the recent lows. So we're looking now at the smaller time frame. By the way, in one of the recent, I think it was last week's member live stream. Last week's member live stream, for which our recording is still available, I talked about what I would do if the market breaks below the Monday low, 5th of August, and talked generally about risk management and how everybody has to decide that for themselves, right? But what sort of the the thought process is how to handle the risk in the market, because obviously now the risk is way higher than it was for anybody who bought in the bear market at some point. Because now for me there's just like maybe one more high in the bull market, 90 to 100k. That could be it. Okay, maybe two more highs towards 125 to 140k, but that needs to prove itself. So the risk has increased. It might double. We might still see a 2x in the Bitcoin price, but most of it has already happened between November 22 and March 24. So that's the idea, at least in this bull market. So let's go to the smaller time frame. Here we can still see that all the support areas are still holding. This is the structure from the 5th of August low. We had an initial rally, which I call a wave 1, in a diagonal. The fact that this is not impulsive, all of this is just corrective to the upside, means we have to be flexible. It could break down at any point, but as long as we're holding support levels, we're focusing on higher still in the short term. So again, even though I said to you, we can't confirm that we bottomed in the 4th wave until we see these 5 waves to the upside, well, that doesn't mean you have to wait to make a trade, right? Some people think for some reason that only when there's confirmation we can make a trade or whatever. That's not really about that. That's just from an analysis point of view. I will not be able to confirm that a 4th wave bottomed on the 5th of August until I see 5 waves that probably should reach 70k. But of course, these micro movements here on the 30-minute chart, on the 1-hour chart, of course, they can be traded also with the levels provided. So for example, if you were looking for a long trade here in the support zone on the 15th of August, that would have helped you. Okay, you would have made a successful long trade. Here as well, a few days ago, we talked about this dip into the support area. If you were looking for an entry here on the long side in that support area, yep, you would have made some money. Obviously, this is now a key area here because we're just below key breakout point to the upside. So it's getting a bit tricky on the smaller time frames, but still absolute key. I want to tell you about the trend lines I'm watching today and the key breakout points and support levels. So here, as I said, I'm tracking here a 1-2 setup. That wave 2 bottomed in October, on the 7th of August. And then we've seen an A wave and a B wave, and we could now be in the C wave to the upside. I would not worry so much about the exact microstructure. It's a bit unclear at the moment because we're dealing just with corrective structures. But still, the microstructure we're tracking at the moment here gives us micro support levels. The last set of levels that we received and that we've been watching over the weekend so far is defined between 58,120 and 59,000. I think today will be an interesting day because we're at the key point. So yesterday in the last video, I highlighted to you that we're trying to break above this yellow line, right? It's not, it happened overnight, failed, but it's trying again. The thing is, the problem is the structure from the 15th of August low is all corrective. So it is possible that we are going to test this support zone again. It's defined between 58,120 and $59,000. But a sustained break above the yellow line, which I called the crime scene, sort of, This is where the sell-off happened on the 15th of August, where the sell-off happened on the 16th of August, and yesterday again. So, okay, you could say, okay, we broke above it. I talked about a mini short squeeze. Okay, that was really mini. My thought process was around that all these stops that are sitting here might get captured. Fishing for stops, basically. Well, it did that, but it couldn't sustain above the yellow line, 59,900. So essentially, a lot of short sellers probably got stopped out there. But the bulls are still trying, okay? The bulls are still trying. It fell back below the line. So it will be an interesting day. The movement to the upside, as I said, is corrective, so it's indecisive at best. But we could either see a move down into the support region. That's what I'm watching today, that potential at least. But it would take a break below the trend line here. Let me put that onto the chart. Again, this is just, of course, not final confirmation, but this is probably the best we've got there. This trend line is interesting to watch because it has 3 touch points, and I'd say a break below it increases the likelihood, it's quite an obvious trend line, that we're heading back into the support region. but we're also pushing higher. So a sustained break above 59,900 has to be a sustained break. But I think, if we try another breakout, this might be it now that the stops are gone, possibly. So we could try the breakout again here. So this is interesting. We're heading into the apex of this formation. So pay attention to this today. Support levels are clear. Breakout point is clear as well. Trend line is clear. Maybe also consider the descending trend line, but it's not very clear because it only has 2 touch points and it got moved a few times. But it was on this way up a great breakout trend line, right? I did move it after every breakout. Can't remember where we're here. So it is something interesting to watch. In addition to the Elliott Wave structures and support parameters. So I hope you like the update. Bear in mind, today we've got our member live stream at 5 p.m. UTC. I actually haven't looked up the topic we're talking about today. I think it might be breakout trading. So if you're interested in that, check it out. Link in the video description for our memberships. And yeah, hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.